What's up, LinkedIn fam? Welcome to the LinkedIn All-Star Academy, where we help you grow your relationships, your income, and your business on LinkedIn. So if that sounds interesting to you, consider subscribing. And in this video, we're gonna be going over the top 10 podcasts of LinkedIn in 2020. So if that sounds interesting to you, stick around. A podcast is an episodic series of digital audio files that a user can download to their personal device for easy listening. Podcasts began to get traction over 15 years ago in 2005 with the invention of the iPod, and have since gone on a second surge in popularity in the recent years with the invention and advent of social media and online becoming way more popular every day. And in the year 2020, more people than ever are downloading, listening to, and creating podcasts. So that's why I wanted to create this video to help you guys out, to let you know the top 10 podcasts that you need to be listening to on LinkedIn. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. Number 10, Jeff Martin. Jeff Martin is the CEO of University Recruiters. He won the Career Coaching and Recruitment CEO of the Year award, and he's one of Yahoo's top 20 finance CEOs to watch in 2020. So that is what's putting him on at number 10 on this list, because he has 72,000 followers and he has a LinkedIn Live podcast where he's interviewed big names like Gary Vaynerchuk, Ryan Serhant, and Grant Cardone. So that's what's putting him at number 10 on this list. So congratulations, Jeff. I'd love to connect with you. A quick side note before moving on to number 9 on this list is for the top 5 podcasters, I'm actually gonna include a little audio clip from their podcast. I was gonna do that for all 10, but in order to fit this video into 10 minutes, I had to just do it for the top 5. So make sure you guys stay to the end of the video to hear those clips from those audio podcasts. Number 9 on this list is Carolyn Keel. Carolyn Keel is a learning and development leader specializing in change management, talent acquisition, and culture. She's a podcast and producer of the Beyond 6 Second podcast, where she interviews everyday people with extraordinary stories. And what is putting her in at number 9 on this list is that I really love her album artwork and her consistency with posting content on LinkedIn. It shows that through consistency, you can get people to know about your podcast even if they've never listened to an episode. I mean, how do you think they're gonna listen to an episode in the first place if they don't know your podcast exists? In full transparency, I've actually never listened to her podcast in its entirety, but I have listened to many of her micro contents on LinkedIn, which goes to show that in order to grow a podcast, it's really important to be creating micro content on LinkedIn. So I'm gonna go check out Carolyn Keel's podcast after I film this video, but let's move on to number 8. Number 8, Chris Luecke. Now, Chris Luecke is a media maverick. He has the podcast Manufacturing Happy Hour, where he interviews top manufacturing executives and technologists, getting that informational content out there in the manufacturing world. And he also helps manufacturers digitally engage their customers by building user groups and also through creating content like his podcast. I actually had the opportunity to meet Chris in 2018, the Philadelphia Rockwell Automation Fair. So super cool. Chris is a great guy. I've had him on my podcast, so definitely go check out his podcast, The Manufacturing Happy Hour. Number 7 on our list is Adam Posner. Adam Posner is the host of the Poscast. He is a founder of NHP Talent Group, #Talent Access. You can catch his podcast all over the platforms. I love that his LinkedIn profile focuses on his podcast. Even though he has a recruitment business, he really focuses on providing value to the community first. And he also has been supporting me throughout my LinkedIn journey over the years. So Adam is a great friend, and I'm thankful to have been on his podcast. I'll link that episode down below if you guys do want to check it out. And let's move on to number 6. Number 6, John Fry, the podcast guy. John Fry helps produce podcasts for B2B that drives revenue with his company, Finesse Media, which he is the founder of. John Fry, as you guys were able to see, I did meet him while I was in Los Angeles, and he has an amazing podcast, but really I'm putting him in at number 6 on this list because he's the podcast guy and he helps businesses create podcasts, and he's been a longtime friend of mine on LinkedIn for years. So that's what's putting John Fry at number 6 on this list. So let's move on to number 5 on the list. Number 5, top podcaster of LinkedIn 2020, Tima Elhaj. Now, Tima Elhaj helps get corporates visibility on LinkedIn, which is also what I do. But Tima has a special place in my heart because soon after I quit my engineering job to be a full-time content creator, she was kind enough to be a guest on my own podcast. I'll play a little clip of that now.
So I wanted to challenge myself. And you've got to understand too, Zach, like for me to put myself out there, that was scary. That was so scary. being in front of a camera and doing videos and even hearing my voice. Like, I don't know what happened with you, Zach, when you first heard your voice back and you're listening to those little words and you think, do I really say that? Do I really sound like that?
Tima has over 88,000 followers now, and when I interviewed her, she was just starting out her LinkedIn journey, so it's amazing to see her come so far in such a short time. So thank you, Tima, for being on the podcast, and congratulations for being number 5 top podcaster of LinkedIn. The number 4 podcaster of LinkedIn, Jordan Paris. Jordan Paris is the host of the Growth Mindset University, where he teaches all of the lessons he wishes he would have learned in school that they just don't teach. He interviews top luminaries like Dan Lok, Grant Cardone, and Dean Graziosi. In fact, let's listen to his podcast right now.
I've designed my life around 3 criteria, and a specific activity has to fit at least one of these 3 criteria. Does it make me a lot of money? Do I have a lot of fun doing this activity? And do I help a lot of people? If it doesn't fit at least one of those 3 criteria, I either don't do it at all or I outsource it to somebody who will do it for me.
So that was a little clip from Jordan's podcast. Congratulations, Jordan. Make sure to go subscribe to his podcast, and let's move on this list to number 3. I was thinking, who should be number 3 on this list? And I realized this list would not be complete without Hala Tara. Hala Tara is the host of the Young and Profiting podcast, YAP. It's an amazing podcast. Let's take a listen to it right now.
Did you find that you have to make an investment? Did you actually have to spend dollars to grow your reach?
No, everything was creative strategy. So I told you that creative strategy about Gary Vee. One of the other benefits of kind of targeting your competitors' followers is that once you actually start building, like let's say I was doing that Gary Vee strategy for like 2 months. I had like 7,000 of the same followers as him, like very quickly, right?
So that was the Young and Profiting podcast with Hala Tara. Make sure you guys go subscribe to her podcast, and let's move on this list to number 2. The number 2 podcaster of LinkedIn for 2020, Mark Metry. Guys, this one kind of goes without saying. Mark Metry is the host of the Humans 2.0 podcast. He was the number 2 top 10 LinkedIn influencer of 2019, and here he is at number 2 podcaster of 2020. Let's go take a listen to his podcast.
Biggest questions that I get, especially from CEOs, high-performing individuals, entrepreneurs, creators, they say, why should I start a podcast today? And the very answer is you don't need to start a podcast. That's not for everybody. But in terms of starting a podcast, you can break this down into personal and professional reasons. Okay.
You guys, Mark's podcast has over 300 high-quality episodes with billionaires, the world's greatest minds. Mark Metry's podcast is synonymous with LinkedIn and podcasts. Like when you think LinkedIn and podcasts, you think Mark Metry. He just launched a new company called Growcast, designed to help you guys grow your own podcast. So guys, go check that out. Make sure to go subscribe on all the platforms and leave him a review. It really will help him. Guys, support Mark. So let's move on this list to number 1. So this brings us to number 1 on our list, the top podcaster of LinkedIn for 2020, Shay Rowbottom. So Shay Rowbottom actually just launched her podcast like last month. She has a handful of episodes. You guys need to go check out her episodes right now. Let's take a little clip from one of her more controversial episodes where she shares her journey and experience trying the spiritual experience of ayahuasca. Let's check it out.
You don't go into a ceremony like this without seeking something out of it. So what do you want? What are you hoping to heal? For me, it was one simple thing. I had a question for God, for the medicine, for Mother Ayahuasca. And this was my question. Why do I feel like such a victim? How did I get this way? Why? Show me the source of my wound. That was it. I wrote it in my journal, shared my intention with the shaman, and went up to have my first cup.
So guys, this has been the top 10 podcasters of LinkedIn for 2020. So make sure to hit that like button if you guys enjoyed this content, and subscribe to our channel, the LinkedIn All-Star Academy, for more content like this. And guys, let me know, who is your guys' favorite podcaster of LinkedIn for 2020? This is a very subjective list. I know there's so many great podcasts out there on LinkedIn and new ones popping up all the time. So let me know if you guys have a favorite podcast of LinkedIn, tag it down below and I want to go check it out. So that's been it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.